What's going on, my Trainer Club? Today I'm going to make sure you are finishing up with the Stardust event and moving on to the next bonus, which is going to be double XP and the Saturday raid window. So welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go! Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, how did you do on your double candy? Did you transfer a lot? Tell me your wins below. Number 2, how did you do on your Stardust event? How much Stardust did you get? Did you get out there and did you get any of these shinies? I can't wait to hear from you guys, but today I'm going to help you out with number 1, practicing and getting ready for the double XP and what my recommendations are, as well as finishing up on the Stardust event. And then number 2, we got to get prepped and ready for the 8 hours that are going to be coming tomorrow on Saturday, so that we can max out together. We can make sure that we play to the best of our abilities, and we can make sure to take advantage of all of the bonuses that are coming out. So let's get into it right now. So number 1, we want to make sure that we are finishing up on all of our bonuses for the Stardust event, because it's the hottest commodity in the game, meaning it's going to be the best thing for your gameplay. So get out there. Number 1, hatch all of your eggs that you possibly can that are 10Ks, because although we are getting half egg distance at the end, it's not going to be Stardust boosted. So you can hatch them right now while you're grinding with the star piece on, to make sure you max out the combination of the star piece as well as the egg hatching right now. So I have already churned through all of my 10-kilometer eggs. I am now onto 7-kilometer eggs that I am super excited to get to. So run through them, hatch your eggs, be ready. Also, get out there and catch as many of the weather boosted Pokemon as you possibly can, and use star pieces. Just get to a downtown area, maybe grind with some friends. It's going to be a great time to maximize on this Stardust. So just get out there, double catch Stardust on as much as you possibly can while you're hatching eggs in the background. Is going to be a great way to stack up. And then of course, catch the 2nd and 3rd evolution Pokemon, which if we're talking about the Charizard, it would be Charmander number 1, Charmeleon number 2 would be more dust, and then Charizard number 3 would be the most dust that you possibly can get. And then if it's weather boosted with the star piece on, you're looking at a good amount of dust. So that's what we want to focus on. Get out there, seek out those Pokemon that are more common than others, which is going to bring me to my tip number 2. Tip number 2 is going to be, we are transitioning into the double XP for the catches. So as far as this goes, this would be a great time if you've been doing, as I've been telling you, stacking up on your gifts, sending out as many as you can. Remember, we can send 100 per day. I would really highly suggest you try to hit that as much as possible. Push all of your friends towards best friends. Just keep getting them up. The more potential chances we have to get lucky friends, the better, in my opinion. So continue on getting those friends up, and then if you have the ability to do that, you can then pop an egg, do a raid, and catch. That would be the ultimate scenario, where you hit the friends bonus, you do a raid, and while walking to the next raid, you're catching, because you're getting it on the double catch bonus. So it's important to try to catch as many as you can. So I wouldn't say to go super gung-ho, because I don't think that double catch bonus is the best way to utilize your eggs. Even though the box is out right now, it does have some lucky eggs in it. I would rather have you save up those eggs for hitting best friend bonuses, because literally one best friend at 200,000 XP on an egg is way more efficient than you're going to do in 30 minutes catching Pokemon. I can guarantee that. So that's where we're sitting for the double catch XP. Utilize it. For me, myself, I'm like way over the amount of XP I need, obviously, to get to 40. Over 100 million XP. Don't really plan to be utilizing this bonus as far as eggs go, because I don't really care about the XP in that regard as of right now, which is going to bring me to my tip number 3. Tip number 3 is going to be to max out completely on this 8-hour event that is going to go on Saturday from 11 a.m. all the way until 7 p.m., which is going to feature a couple different things. Number 1, we're going to have 2-hour Glacial Lures, which is super cool because it's going to attract more of these ice Pokemon. Cryogonal, you're going to be able to get more of the potential Lapras, as well as other Pokemon that are ice specific themed. So you're definitely going to want to do that. And a new box has just been released. There's actually 2 raid passes, 2 super incubators, 2 instances, and 4 glacial lures, which is actually a really good deal, because the glacial lures are pretty expensive otherwise. So for me, myself, I definitely want to contribute during this day, picking up a couple glacial lures. If you have 4, and that's going to be 2 hours each, that's going to last the entire duration of the event, because they're going to go for 2 hours. If a couple people pick up these boxes in your area and set them off on some stops, you guys can combine this. The 2-hour lures is really, really great for our advantage, because they spawn things so much more frequently. It's definitely a plus that they're 2 hours, and during those glacial lures, you can now evolve your Eevee into a Glaceon and learn the move Last Resort. So As far as the evolutions, as of right now, Glaceon is the most effective as far as the top attackers go. Umbreon being the best PvP version, but then Glaceon as far as meta attackers, it's going to be the second best ice attacker behind Mamoswine. So that's definitely something you can do. You can also evolve it and get the Community Day move, which is the first time at a Community Day that we've actually seen it, which is really unique and cool. I like it. Not the most effective thing, but it's definitely something cool to have, and it is going to be legacy because you can't get it outside of here. And two more things that we're gonna cover. Number one, you're gonna get 2 free raid passes. However, it's not a dump as always, it's use one and spin one. So if you have one today and you move it into tomorrow, that's gonna be 1 extra raid pass. So you're gonna be able to get 3 raid passes for that day. I don't believe that you can get the 4 if you have 1 today, because if then you roll it to tomorrow, it would just be the 2. So technically speaking, the maximum you can get is 3, unless you used the other one beforehand, spun a pass, and then you would have 3 going into there, but it would have to be used for the Virizion because it would have to be before the 11 o'clock, which is when the Regices are going to start spawning. Regice is going to be out for this entire duration. I'm assuming that the raids are also going to be boosted. Hopefully the shinies will be boosted as well. We're going to be doing a meetup in downtown Naperville, so if anybody is there, I will be playing. It's not really like a super collabed meetup, but you'll definitely see me by the Riverwalk walking around, so I can't wait to do that for you guys. We're going to play, hunt, get shinies together, do some raids together. So make sure to get out there. We have the 100% IVs, which is going to be 1784 for level 20, and then under boosted conditions, which is going to be snowy weather, it's going to be 2230 for the Regice. If you haven't got the shiny Regice, now would be a great time to make up for it. As far as the quick moves, it can get Rock Smash and Frost Breath, and then for the charge moves, it can get Focus Blast, Earthquake, and Blizzard. And Regice does have a pretty high defense stat, which does make it a little bit difficult, warranting the absolute minimum amount of players that you're going to use to 4, but that's if you have really good powered up counters and you guys are all ready and suited to go. But preferably at a minimum you would be at 6 and a little bit upwards, right? Because it's not a hard Pokemon to take down, but it's definitely tankier. The moveset of Earthquake is going to throw a damper on a lot of the counters. So after we go over the counter guide, I'm going to show what I think are the best Pokemon and how I would set up my parties to make sure you guys maximize. Out influential to the movesets, we are sitting number 1 with the Metagross, with has to be the Community Day movesets, because without it, it is absolutely irrelevant as a counter. It's going to be Bullet Punch and Meteor Mash. Then we're going to look at the Chandelure, which we've checked out the best of the best. If you want to see it go up here, is going to be Fire Spin and Overheat combination. Then in number 3, we're going to look at the Moltres with the Fire Spin Overheat. And then after that, we're going to look at the Blaziken with the Community Day move of Fire Spin and Blast Burn. Then we're going to check out the Charizard with the Fire Spin and Blast Burn, followed closely by the Entei with the Fire Spin and the Overheat combination. I do like the Blast Burn a little bit more because it's that 2-bar special, right? So that's really effective. And then after that, we're going to have Machamp with the Counter Dynamic Punch combination, which is going to be very effective for this Pokemon, one of the staples in our parties when we get to it in a second. And then we're going to throw in the Dialga with the Metal Claw and the Iron Head, followed closely by the Rampardos with the Smackdown and Rock Slide combination. Then we have the Heatran with the Fire Spin and the Iron Head, and then we have the Excadrill with the Metal Claw and the Iron Head combination as well. So what's going to be most important for us is knowing the Earthquake moveset. So everything is pretty much weak against Earthquake, except for the fighting Pokemon. So that means that Machamp and Hariyama are going to be the most resilient as far as different types of movesets coming in, right? Because the Steel is going to take weakness from ground. The Heatran is going to be double weak to ground. The Fire is going to be weak to ground. So pretty much all the other counters are going to be somewhat weak to ground. The Rock is going to be weak to ground, and it's also going to be weak to fighting moves. So the only typing that prevails overall and the safest bet is going to be the fighting move with the Machamps. It's not going to be the highest DPS, but it's going to be the safest. So what I would suggest doing is creating 2 parties, right? And then we're going to get into the weather. So the number 1 party is going to be for the Ice type Pokemon, which is going to be the best overall. What I would suggest doing with this is going to be 2 Machamps up front, and then I would go with the Metagross. You can do the Chandelure, you can do the Blaziken, you can do the Entei, you can do any of these combinations, but stay more towards the top. So 2 Machamps, because if it's going to have the Earthquake moveset, it's going to take damage neutral from them, and then you can back out. And the second party is going to be all fighting type Pokemon. The reason why I would do this, and I would always suggest using party number 1 first, unless you for sure know that it's going to have Earthquake. Like if it puts all fighting type Pokemon, that's a pretty good indicator that it probably has Earthquake. So it's going to be 2 fighting types, right? If you don't know. And then you're going to have all of these other Pokemon afterwards, right? So if it does have Earthquake, the Machamps won't take humongous double damage from it, and then you can back out, right? And then you can go to your all fighting type Pokemon in the heal lobby, right? So that's the most effective way to set your guys up for success and not have to be vulnerable by putting in a Moltres or a Metagross at first, and it comes through with an Earthquake and absolutely wipes that Pokemon out, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I have to back out and then move on, right? In this case scenario, you could fight through your 2 first Machamps, then you could back out when it gets to the Metagross, then you could heal those 2 Machamps, switch over to your all fighting type Pokemon party, and then pop right back in to be successful. And when I got my shiny Regice, unfortunately, the footage of the Regice shiny coming through, it got deleted. So hopefully I'll be able to get another one for you guys. So that's gonna do it. Make sure to maximize on the Stardust. Use the XP, but really focus on the shinies. We really want the shiny Delibird. That one's gonna be not here anymore. The Snover will be around. The Delibird will go extinct after this event. So Delibirds are #1 priority. And then also, we definitely want to send as many gifts as we can, because keeping 20 in your inventory and sending out 40 is a great time to rank up on friendships, and then maximize on those free raid passes. If you don't want to do more than that, don't. If you want to just use it for the shiny Stantler raids, do that. So max out. Super appreciate you guys. Thank you to all my likers, commenters, subscribers, and Patreon members for taking their subscriptions to the next level. I'm gonna see you guys out on that next video. Peace. I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.